Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Q&A. Sorry, a little bit different background at my desk currently. But hey, Mike. Um, yeah, so I think today we have a theme of assembly, but obviously if we don't have any assembly questions, we can go over whatever's on your mind, whatever issues you're having or questions you've got. And if you are new or you haven't ever been to the Q&A before, how to ask a question, you'll go ahead and go to the React button down at the bottom, click that, and then it'll have a raise hand. Once you click raise hand, then we can take your question as they come in. All right, perfect. Looks like we got Steve.
Hold on. I'll go ahead and get this party underway today.
Awesome.
Just a quick question. When we associate items in or for assembly, it seems like every once in a while we get like a three-piece suit and not all three pieces get connected. Is there something we're doing wrong, or is it, is it because like we have maybe a vest and a pair of pants get connected, but the jackets, over here, even though they're all connected to some piece? I'm not sure if it's the order they come up, or what may be the possible cause of that.
Yeah, so I can tell you that you aren't necessarily doing anything wrong. Smart as a whole just doesn't work with three-piece association. It only works with two. So that's really the problem there.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know if it's something we were doing or something that is a limitation in smart. So any suggestions of how maybe to work around that, or?
Um, I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Okay.
Mike,
Not a
do you
major.
have anything that kind of a workaround to get past the whole three-piece association issue?
Oh, there we are. Can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha now.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't able to unmute. Okay. Uh, so there is one solution I have found for this, which is to create a special care, and you can do multiple versions of this depending on how many different multi-piece sets you might want to be able to handle in a single order. That would determine how many different versions of this special care you need. But the way I set it up is I call it part of set. If there's going to be more than one of them, I'll call it part of set A, part of set B, so forth. The idea is uh, when you have, say, a three or more, pieces that you want to make sure get bagged together, you put the same special care on all of them. So if it's a three-piece suit, they're all going to get part of set A. A is what connects those three. And then if there was another three-piece suit on that same order, you could use part of set B on all three of those pieces. So then we'd have a splitting rule for each of these special cares that just looks for that special care and make sure everything that goes that has it stays together when bagged.
And I guess the other thing we could do would be split them as we're checking the orders in, correct? I mean, as
Well,
part set.
yeah, you if you split them manually to their own orders, what you could still run into is that at assembly, Smart will try to split the different pieces if the assembly rules tell it to do so. So if you split off like pants, jacket, and a vest, but maybe for whatever reason the pants already have their own assembly rule, uh, the pants will be pulled out anyway. So you can get almost there, but not quite all the way. It still doesn't address the bagging part, but the special care would do that.
And do you do that as like a one-time special care, or do you do it so it's permanent? Or
Well, that's really up to you. If you want it to be remembered with the heat seals, then we can make it permanent. Or if you'd rather have to reapply it each time, then we can set it up that way. Theoretically, you could even have a permanent version and a temporary version, but then we're talking about a whole lot of extra assembly rules to cover all these permutations. Probably not worth it.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, thanks.
Sure. Yeah, and if you ever want to set that up, just reach out to support. I think most of the agents are kind of familiar with the idea, but I don't know if any of them has set it up other than
Yeah,
myself. So
the
feel
other
free to
thing
ask for me.
we did on the assembly side not terribly long ago, we tried to limit the number of, for example, sport coats and suit jackets that we have on an individual ticket.
Hmm.
It seems to be working sometimes. um, but it just, I don't know. I'm not comfortable that we've actually got it solved yet, because sometimes it seems like we get three or four sport coats and they all still show up in the same ticket, and we end up after we put in the shoulder guards and that type of thing in order that's pretty voluminous, and we're trying to keep that down, but it just ends, and then other times it seems like it's working fine, so I'm not sure exactly.
Okay. Are you using a metal projetti or
No,
assisted assembly with
we're
smart?
pretty primitive. We're not that big, so
Okay, but you are heat sealing.
static assembly.
You are heat sealing, or no?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Um, yeah, I can think of a few things that could be. Is it? Do you have an open ticket about it right now?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay. If you do, feel free to just update it and ask for me. Just say, "Hey, Mike asked me to
Yeah, I don't
ask him
think
to
we have
take a look."
anything open on that right now. I think it's something we thought we had covered, so we closed it out.
Okay.
But I
Yeah,
think,
I'm pretty confident we could figure that out. So
okay, all
feel
right.
feel free to bring it back up.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, sure thing.
I'm done.
Did you have anything else, Steve? Okay,
I'm done.
cool.
All right, sweet. All right, let's go over to Mike Marshall.
Okay, I know I've discussed these in the past, but I wanted to bring it up again on release forms online that we could text to the customer and then they reply yes and send it back. I had tried to set up the different ones we have, which is about probably about 5 of them, and they were too lengthy for whatever, I don't know,
Portfolio.
email or smart or something.
Yeah,
But on the DLI call this morning, there's a release form that I have printed off or on my screen that it has it has 3 different boxes. I guess it says wet cleaning required, and then it's for household items, and then preservation. So I was wondering if you could make something, or if something could be made like that, and then we could just highlight the wording we need or the specification, and then their return text with a yes would be approval.
yeah. So it could definitely be made. I would like to see what document it is. I'm assuming it's something that would be like printed out and handed out.
Uh, no, it's for text is what he was saying. I think, oh, he texted him, but he also has them printed out for people who don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
And
I
they were,
could share my screen and show you where. I mean, you guys know where it is. But just for everybody's sake, do you guys care if I share your instance real quick? I'm already on it.
no,
All right. So I'm gonna go back and just so that way we can see all the steps that I took to get here. I'm just going to show where you can find the release forms template, or where if you were to manually make them, where you can find that area at. So you're going to go settings, business settings, and then communication templates. It's already going to put you at manual. As for these guys, they already have release forms here that they have probably already generated. But if you need to add templates or you want to change it, you can add here or add a category. So a category would be like this: financial is the category, and then template would be underneath what category, right? So if it's a release form, here's the subject line, body, and
so
then
you have
obviously
to
if you need
fill it
to,
out yourself.
yeah, yep. And then I would definitely, yeah, this is really long. So in a text, this won't go out for sure, but in an email, I don't believe that there's a limit for emails. That might be something I need to look up to see if there is a character limit for it. But you can go in here and change how you would like it. I would highly recommend not copying and pasting, because that can also be flagged, as we've talked about previously. It'll change the way that the code is worked in Twilio, and it can either be blocked or it can extend how many segments that message is. Where it could be 2, you added an apostrophe or you copied and pasted something that had an apostrophe in it. It thinks it's something else, thinks it's like an image, and it changes it to 6 segments, and then
Know what the length of the text is?
what the
I'm
length
sorry
of the
to
test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add
You
something.
have it
Tyler.
ahead.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
go
Okay.
ahead, Mike.
I just wanted to say we need to being unable to copy and paste, I think is pretty limiting, especially when you're trying to transfer a really long message like that. So we need to figure out if there's like if Notepad or if Microsoft Word or something basic uh, will let you copy paste without changing the Unicode characters that are used, so that you don't end up changing the segment length. So we're gonna look into that. I just want to make sure that
The
everyone
person I
understood
talked
that.
to said, they're on an older POS, I can't think of the name, but they said you have to set it up as an SMS message. I think is what they said, which,
Yeah. So I mean, you guys are already set up as an SMS message, like everybody is.
okay,
So you should be good there. As for the character limit that Matt asked, so
Mhm.
there is a general character limit of 1,800 characters, but also the carriers, i.e. Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, have been cracking down on how big of messages can be sent. So I've seen things that are 900 characters, like a release form, get blocked by the carrier itself, but it generally comes back to it was copied and pasted. And like Mike said, we need to go ahead and see if Notepad still does that, because generally people are doing like Chat GPT, copying, pasting it in there, and it's flagging it that way.
Which is what I was thinking about doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that route as of right now.
Is there a way we can send them, I don't, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is there a way that we could text them a link? And the link would take them directly to the release we're asking them to approve?
and digitally sign it.
I think you can via email, right, Mike? You can send it via email, but once it comes to texting, any other links other than the smart link, it's going to flag it. Because I think once you put 2 links in, it'll get blocked.
Frankly, I'm not 100% sure. I think that sounds right. I think you're about right on that. Off the top of my head, I don't recall the details.
So yeah, I think it can be done via email, which is pretty easy. I mean, it's the same thing, adding a template. And if you were to do something like I guess if you were to do form site or something, some people use it. It should work that way.
Okay, will you, what you showed us on the example, was that all just text or was that email or text?
Yeah, so it can be both. Yep.
Okay.
So whenever you go to send a message, it's going to say, what template do you want to use? And if you choose manual, it'll give you these same categories. And it really depends on if you are choosing to send a message via email or text. So if you choose to only send it via email, then that's the way it's going to go.
So Tyler, as our record keeping, I mean, if we send it as an email and they reply back to the email, it'll be in the system just like a text, right?
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Okay.
And it'll have a little envelope that kind of means, hey, that was an email
Will it,
response.
will it go on their profile like as a note?
Not as a note, you'll have to manually put that on there.
Okay. Alright. And I had one more question, unless someone
Okay.
else.
Margie's got one.
Okay,
but-
go ahead with her and then.
Okay, we can circle back.
Okay.
All right, Margie.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Great. This is in the same realm of what they're talking about with your in selecting the email versus text. If it will not send it as a text message, if it's too long, will it tell you or not allow you to select that option?
Yes.
How-
Yeah, so sorry, it'll populate and it'll say message is too long, over 1,600 characters, I believe, unable to send, and it'll give you an error. So actually, when you attempt to send it, it's going to prompt you and say, this message is too large. It's not going to be able to send. Do you still want to attempt? And then you can hit yes, but it's gonna then in the contact log, it's gonna show a red message, say unable to send, too big.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm
Yeah.
new at assembly. We haven't actually started it yet. We're just now getting our ducks in a row to get everything set up to start doing it. So it's interesting to hear everybody's input on what they're doing, of the people who actually are doing it now. And we're going to be old school too. We're doing a slot system. We don't have a nice line that does everything for us. So
Yeah. Yep.
anybody that has any input or comments about how much they like it or dislike it, I'd love to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you that people in the beginning, they find it difficult to switch over to heat seals and start using assisted assembly because it takes a bit to, it takes time to put the heat seals on everything. And some people think it takes longer, but at the end of the day, once you're looking back on it, you're like, yeah, we dealt with some hard times in the beginning, but it's better once you get going. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I've used it at another store with the automated assembly. Um, my boss has several stores. This is the first store he's actually integrating new of everything. So the other store they enjoy it, but with this being not automated, I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for these girls to learn how to know where everything's at, basically, because it is a little bit harder with heat seals to find items if you're used to looking at a tag on a ticket. So
Right. Yep.
it's going to be interesting to see how well it does with them. But I'm looking forward to moving ahead and going into the 20th century finally, or 21st century.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the way to look at it for sure.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Not a problem. All right. So we got Enrique.
Hey, I have a quick question regarding what you guys are talking about, flagging the messages. So, and I know it's been recent because we've sent a lot of messages in the past years and they all went through. What's the difference? And you brought it up, like we can send the smart app, which what's the difference between that link, which is essentially like a sort of like an internet link, between like a Google link, or kind of like what Mike was referring of, we want to make our own document, put it into a link so they can read it fully and then sign it. Does, does it make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah. Yeah. So the difference is that we have it already approved by Twilio, that we've said, hey, we're going to send some type of link, or our clients are going to be sending the link that is tied to us, and it is going to be sent out in mass and automated. So we
Okay,
got
so
it
you
approved first. It's in the setup process.
got it, got it. I see. That's okay. And then let's say if someone was interested to be able to get more links approved, what would one do about it? Is that kind of going with smart marketing and then you guys do that, or?
Yeah, I want to say that moves more into smart marketing because they allow multiple links to be put into a message. But I'm not entirely sure what we could do to get it to work on POS. I'm not sure if there is a type of number that you have to have, or some type of campaign that would need to be set up in order to add multiple links. And that's something I can look into for you.
Got it. Thank you. No, yeah, that makes. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. Sorry, I think I just clicked on a random person to unmute. Okay, Mike, you want to go back to you real quick?
Okay, yeah. And the other item, I know I brought it up. I wanted to see if it was worked on or where we stand on it, the item count versus the mark-in count. So when a customer brings in their clothes, we count them, give them a receipt, we keep a receipt, throw it in the bag. And let's say we said 7 items there and we only have 6 to mark in.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want to get a report where I can compare those two numbers. And, a lot of times you can find out that the one before it has an extra item
Yeah.
and that one's less one. So you know right there where to find it.
Yeah, I don't think that we've added any new reporting areas for that specifically. I can see, yeah, that I'm gonna have to look into to see if we're anywhere close to getting that in there. I think we have to do something with the price list, change the way the price list looks at items. But I could be wrong.
Uh, I know our past software did it, but that I understand there's quite a difference, but that would be very helpful. And maybe, I mean, I don't know if it'd be helpful to other people too, but
Yeah,
just
it's
another philosophy around finding that out.
yeah. I just know that we can't pull it in a mass report at the moment. But obviously, the only other way that you can do it is going to the history of the customer, but that's on an individual customer basis, which is where, you know, you're wanting to catch it beforehand rather than deal with it reactively. So
Mhm. Okay,
I definitely see it. Yeah, but
that was it. If you could you keep me updated on that?
yeah, I'm gonna need to look to see where that request is, and then I can get back with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Has anybody had a bad experience with the new support AI bot? Probably. I'm sure there's some. So we recently added an AI bot to where if you call, an AI bot is going to pick up the phone and attempt to answer the question. If not, you can ask for an agent and it will attempt to transfer to an agent. But if nobody's available, then we'll just call you back. And but it's something that we're training and building, try to lessen how many calls and tickets we have to deal with all at once. Perfect. Will.
Is that something that you guys, once you figure out that you'll be able to apply to Smart so we can use that with our customers?
I really hope so. That is definitely something that we would like to do in the future, especially for ticketing or answering any questions and things like that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, Brian.
Hey Tyler, something new, not along the AI app, but the new delivery app. I know it's new. I'm getting still like significant delays and frozen screens and things like that. I'm assuming you guys are working on them. Is there any do you need would you like me to actually report when stuff happens, or is there things in the roadmap that you want to get fixed first before I start reporting problems?
No, that's a good question. That right there, the freezing of the new app is our number one priority in development to try and get done. So anything that you run into, I think right now the biggest thing that we're noticing is whenever people are hitting back to manifest or back, like the back button up in the top left to try and go back, it turns into a white screen. Um, or
That's
you could be getting a screen that says, "Hey, something happened. Please click reload." I haven't seen anybody, or nobody's at least has reported it to me that that screen is showing now. And that was supposed to report it, like give us instant feedback as to what happened prior to.
yeah. I mean,
So are you?
I've definitely gotten the white screen. I think the other things the more frequent things that I got today and the other day was just a delay in, I would go to, in the order itself, create an order, I guess, do cleaning or wash, dry, fold, and then I click complete and then go, hey, you have no bags here, right? No, there's no bag that has been added.
Mhm.
And then that takes a while, and so I back out and sometimes, what I end up doing was I re-added the bag thinking it didn't go through, and now I have two bags on the order. Or, after a while it would just appear by itself. That happened to me a dozen times today. And I probably had to force close the app 2 or 3 times. Just because I couldn't hit any button, nothing happened. So
Right, yeah. I have seen somebody did send me in a video of that exact thing where they clicked add bag and then it says, "Are you sure you want to be done? There's no bags here." And then they're like, "I just added
yeah,
it." Click it again, and then two populate, and then they have to delete one.
all right,
Not sure the cause of that, but that is another big issue that we're trying to get rid of.
okay. So I guess I'll just let me know when you want me to, when you think it's fixed, and then if it happens again, I'll start reporting it out.
Yeah, yeah. If you do want to report like an instance that you have, and this goes for anybody, if you're using the new app and you're running into issues, the biggest thing is that we like to see the user info of the app itself to make sure that we have the correct station and user that's using it, and the version that the app is on. And then a time frame that it happened is also good because then we can go back and look and see the exact steps of what happened. So if you can get those four things, and then you could shoot an email to us or something, real brief, even a screenshot or a video if you have it, those help us out too.
Got it.
And then of
We'll
course,
start.
sorry, go ahead.
I'll definitely I'll start doing that for ones where I have to force quit, because it feels like the other ones you kind of have at least an idea of what you're doing, what you've captured, what's causing it. So anything I force quit on, I'll try to report that out to you.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be really good. Yeah. And sometimes really all you would have to do is you could just send in a timestamp of like, hey, at this time, 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday, it happened. And we can go
Yep.
back and look. All right. Looks like Brian's good. All right, Steve.
Yeah, just for going back a few sessions, I heard you guys talking a lot about how to note referrals for new customers. Really haven't really pursued that yet, but it's something that's we're kind of looking at it and trying to figure out how to do it. Is there a simple way to? I'm sure it's not a hard thing to do, but is there a simple way to document the source of that new client?
Oh yeah. Yep. Let me share my screen. I do think that this request has been coming in quite often, actually. So there is already a new customers report built into everyone's system. So you'll go to reports, you'll click customer, and then new customer. And they don't have anybody. Let's go last quarter, select. And then here you can see all of these are new customers. It's going to tell you what their first order was, and also the source of how they signed up. Is that what you're
Well, I guess, I mean, all of ours are just saying our company name, so I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I'm assuming that means a walk-in, but if we have like for example, a client referral or something like that, it does,
oh, referrals.
you know.
Um,
And if this is okay, I mean, I mean, it's not something we have to have. I just was a little curious and I thought I might be missing something here.
we don't have anything that would track referral unless if you set up like a box that said like a referral source being, I don't know if you're trying to track based on if it's a person or if you're like a Facebook link, Instagram, any type of social media link. Is there a way that you're trying to?
Well, at this point in time, everything's just in discussion phase, but we're kind of wanting to know, for example, if we do a postcard promotion, is that the source of that new client? Or if we do something of, another client referred this person to us, so we can, kind of track that growth pattern. Just, those types of things. Not that anything's really specific at this point, but we're trying to get to that point where we can get a little bit more detail in our analysis.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, I do have an idea. You could go to set up customer fields and then add a referral source if you wanted. Now you can make it to where it's a like for this instance, they have it to be a text field, or you can have it be a select where you choose the options where you're like, Google just saw a sign, or hey, got your postcard. And then we could build a report based off of that specific customer field and narrow down or maybe help you move, I guess.
Yeah, so when a new customer were to open up, this would pop up where we're the
Yeah,
CS.
yep.
Okay,
Yep. So you would set it to be POS sign up or in profile if you wanted to, so you could view it later. Yeah, so this is just one way to do it, but there's no
that'll
really.
probably be what we need. Okay, that's it.
If I can add to that a little bit, a few months ago we actually added the ability to set custom fields, which is what we're looking at, using the sign up link. And what that means is that it is possible to create a custom sign up link for your business that sets the referral source as, for example, Facebook. And then that's the link you use on Facebook. And so if anybody signs up using that link, they get the Facebook referral source set automatically on their account when they sign up. And you can do the same thing with Instagram and any other platforms where you might want to use a dedicated link for that platform that'll let you track who comes from it.
Yeah, because what we were looking at was, well, we've been sending out postcards to, customers who are in our delivery areas, but not clients yet. And
Mm.
we're referring them right now to a landing page with a QR code that take them to the
Mhm.
sign up. And we've kind of backed off of it here recently because of some other things, but we're wanting to get back on it. But we're looking for a
Yeah.
good way to track, over time how those promotions are working out for us. We could possibly
Okay.
set it up that way.
Yeah, for the delivery marketing that you were just talking about, yeah, you could that could work the same way as what I was talking about with a Facebook or an Instagram link. You just have a different link for like delivery flyer or whatever you want to call it. And you're right, the QR code is an easy way that you can put it on paper and they can use their phone to scan it. And then yeah, you'd be able to track not only who signs up on that basis, but you can also with another report or perhaps even the same report also track promotion, whether they applied the promotion. Now, promotion usage, actually, I can do that too because I can put referral source in an orders report, so I can get both of them in the same report for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's
we're
some
not
good
that
options there.
sophisticated yet, but yeah, we need to dive into that and see
Well,
what we can
well,
do.
smart is. So we're here to bring that sophistication to your business for you. Yeah. So
I'm not used to getting that kind of help.
yeah, we're all about it.
Right.
So yeah, whenever you want to make a move on this, yeah, just
Okay,
reach out and we'll
absolutely.
help you set it up.
Absolutely. All right. Appreciate it,
Cool.
guys. Thank you.
Of course.
And let's go over to Will.
Oh, no, I was just gonna jump in on the Steve conversation and then end up ultimately saying if you have a promotional code, you can then track all through the promotional code, even with new customers, other than they have to enter that in when they sign up with you, and that's after they create the account. So if there was an easier way on Smart side with a new customer that they could put the promotional code in when they're signing up, because unless it's changed, because what happens now is they have to create an account, and then after they create the account, they have to put the promotional code in. So it's a few extra steps. Whereas with our existing customers, if you're sending out internal, like they literally just click the link, it automatically applies to their account. And so they don't have to do anything else. So that when they're already a customer, it's really streamlined. Whereas if it's a new customer, it's not.
Hi, Will, it's Denise. Yeah, I'm shaking
Hey,
my
Denise.
head. Yes, agreed. You have to be a customer before you can do anything with that coupon. So. But yeah, there's a place in the customer app in their profile where they can add a code. Or you could make it auto apply if you wanted for new customers. It's another option.
I would think,
And then also with Steve, if you do a referral source, you can actually make it so your staff has to select something. So they can't bypass that when they're
that's
going
kind of what I'd
through.
like to do, is to make it a required field so we can get a good feel for where our new clients
Yeah.
are coming from.
We turned that on for a while, and then what we ended up realizing is that CSRs were literally just selecting anything. And so, and I can't remember who I heard from, but there's a way that you can set like someone had a trick to it, and I'll if I remember, I'll send you a message on it, to like how the higher in the drop down menu you can do something, and I can't remember what it is, but if I do, I'll send you a message on it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Are you just talking about making a required field here, or no, something different?
I'm thinking a required field at this point, but again, I'm not far enough into it to really know at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can make these fields required, and then just depending on if it's like POS sign up, and then specific types.
Now Will's got me curious, and I want to know what the trick was.
Yeah.
Will, if you think of it, I'd love to hear it from you about what that trick was.
Yeah, I think that I can't remember if I was talking to Elton or if I was there's a trick to it, and I wrote it down and I now have forgotten, but I'll double
Sure.
check with the handful of people that I know that we were talking about it and then get back to you.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Good deal. Appreciate it.
Looks like we got about just under 20 minutes left. Here's one thing that people actually have asked me a couple times in the last couple weeks. And those of you who have showed up to office hours I've probably already explained it, depending on if you were there that day or not. So in support, we get a lot of requests for reports. And the go-to thing that everybody wants to do is they want the main report to just go to a personal KPI. So that way I can see it and it's fine. Um, I want to urge people to get away from that, because a couple things. One, only that employee can see it, or you're asking for this report to go to 5 different people, and then we're going through and adding it to all 5 people. Sure, it doesn't take long, but rather than doing that, it's easier to make a tag, to create a tag or use one that's already created. So for instance, if there is something to do with pressing that they want to see, you can add things to this tag or what happened today. Somebody said, hey, my managers, I want them to see specific things that I don't want other people to see. I have 3 different reports. Should I just add them individually to the people? No, don't do that. 1, it's going to get cluttered. 2, it's kind of monotonous. So if you go through and create a tag that you want, say, a manager to see, and you could set those tags for each manager to see, you can then go in and add reports as you see them, or you can have us add those reports as we create them to the manager's tag here. And this is just an area that you can organize and place reports, so that way you don't have the clutter whenever, you're having an off day and you can't remember where those reports were, and you're sorting through categories trying to find what type of report it was. You can just come here and look at your tags where it was a detailing report. I remember putting it in my tags. Or if it's not here, hey, I can add it here by searching open orders or whatever I was looking for, sales by department, even though it has nothing to do with detailing. But yeah, I just urge people to use tags rather than personal KPIs because those can get cluttered fast, even though you can delete those and move them other areas. Chances are you can lose them too at the same time.
Also, since Tyler brought it up, many of you may not be aware. Tyler, can you go to settings, stations, and then click on a store? You can actually assign entire dashboards to a store so that anyone logged in to that store sees all the dashboards in that same section under KPI dashboard. It's listed like amongst their personal. So you would see a list of all of these plus their personal, and then KPI config at the bottom. So if you have store themed reports that are not manager specific and should be accessible for production staff, counter staff, and so forth, you can make them visible to everyone without having to add them to individual employees, and they'll be filtered by store.
Yep, exactly. And how to add it to specific employees. Just go to this one. Is click on the employee that you want, admin tab, and then here here's where everybody likes to go, personal KPIs, but you can just go to associate KPI tags. All right, perfect. Mike?
So where do we see the tags when we're looking at the reports? Like personal KPI is going to be under me.
Right. So the tags here, there's two ways. So that's what Mike was talking about is you can set this up that the KPI dashboard underneath the store so you can see it. Other than that, you can go through and add it to each individual employee. And I believe as soon as you add one to it, it moves it to the top.
Okay.
And then it'll keep those default ones that are already there until you start overusing, or so like once you add two, then one will fall off. That makes sense.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's how it works, Mike, right? Double check me if I'm wrong on that. But
yeah, I'm sorry, I caught most of that. Yeah, I'm not sure how the order is determined, if that's what you were asking.
I guess I'm
yeah,
not clear the difference between putting a report in your dashboard or a tag in your dashboard then.
Oh, so a tag and a dashboard are the same thing. They are synonyms. So in the interface here, it uses the word tag. There are a few other places where it uses the word dashboard. I actually would like to clean that up so it's consistent, but they're the exact same thing. And we call them tags because really in the database, each report just has a list of all the tags that are associated with it. And so that tells Smart which dashboards to show that report in. And then whenever it loads a particular dashboard, it checks every report that has its tags and pulls them all in. So they're, from the user's perspective, a tag and a dashboard are exactly the same thing. There's only a difference on the back end.
Okay.
That clarifies.
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. So yeah, just basically a way to clean things up and hold them in specific areas, almost like folders on your desktop. All right, Will?
I had a question about the referral source. Would there be a way to add that in to, if you're with smart marketing, to send that also as a question along with the review? It's after the fact, but you still get the data, right? And so they've used you, and if you're with smart marketing, since they're doing review, is there a way of tying that in to source it if they answer that question? Because more than likely, if they're writing you a review, they're probably going to select the referral source, and then we then create the referral source.
Do you want to know if it can be actually part of the whole process or
Yes.
within the text message? Okay.
Well, either way, it's going to have to API to Smart so we can get the analytics, right? And so I know that if you guys were to build that in somehow to collect that information in the email that sends to them saying, how was your service with us? So I couldn't even tell you what those look like, but I know that they get an email or a text saying review. They then select it, they walk through that process. If there's an easy way to,
Like, how did you hear about us page? Yeah.
yes, that's all within the same.
I'd have to look into that. It seems a little complicated because you're kind of mixing it with Google, because you're trying to funnel them to Google, to leave the review. Let me talk to Jason about whether we have any ideas for that.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, even if it was a separate, it would be tough if it's a separate link
Yeah.
because you've already captured them and they're filling something out. That it would be nice if it could go with that, where they, yeah. Just thought.
I mean, I would see, yeah. So you're trying to capture even if someone's been a customer for 10 years, you want that information.
Yep. Yep.
All right, let me talk to him. I do think that would be a nice thing to have on your new customer welcome. Some sort of link there.
Yeah, you know, the problem with the new customer welcome is like they're not, a lot of people don't even know. If you look at the open rate on those, like, or like if it's set up in smart marketing, you look at, you know, how many people actually open and read those. And why I
Yeah.
think it's on the review is you already have their attention. If they're writing you a review, they're open at that point to give as much information as possible. You know, because once they've done that, you know, the biggest thing with reviews that I don't like is when they force you to fill out a box. Like if I want to go in there and just get 5 stars, and it doesn't let me bypass that. It's the same thing as if there's any way of building that in where if they don't want to do it, it just keeps moving.
Yeah, let me see if there's like a next step. Like after they do all that, could it go to some other page automatically that said, please let
That
us know.
sounds super easy to me, Denise.
Sure. Like snap my fingers.
Let's just make it happen.
You gonna pay for our engineers? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like I said, I will be a beta. I will
Kinda
help
does, right?
be the beta.
Yeah. You come up with the ideas. These are $1 million ideas, so we should be paying
Oh,
you.
for sure.
Just
Yeah, for sure.
kidding.
It sounds like a great idea. Like, you know, as a second source of income, I appreciate it.
It's gonna be called the Will Waterstrat review process.
Yeah, nice. You know, I don't need the attention though. I don't need my face or name anywhere.
No.
That I
All
have
right.
not.
All right.
My face is not on the side of our vans. So
So funny. All right, noted.
thank you.
All right, looks like River had a question. Is there any way to get KPI list of how often each KPI is open to clear out old or obsolete KPIs? I don't believe there's a way that we can pull. I mean, there's probably a way. It would be,
I think it's extremely unlikely that we log
It-
that.
yeah, to pull all the information of how many users opened up a report the last time or the last time a report was open would be pretty difficult.
Yeah, and I mean literally the chance that there is any logging right now of that stuff, I think is pretty slim. Because first of all, and just for anyone's general understanding, you know, if in any software, if you're going to log something, you have to write code to record that thing and maintain the log. So there's effort involved in setting up the logging, and then you have to have space to store the logs for some amount of time. And I can't imagine any use we have ever seen or encountered use or need for knowing KPI usage per report. Now, that's not to say that it's a bad question. I think it's a very interesting idea. It'd be nice to know that, but I don't think we've ever had any incentive to build anything like that. So I can't imagine that we currently log it. So I really doubt that even if we did like a back end search, we'd be able to find that kind of information. But I'll keep it in mind. I'll put in a dev inquiry to learn more about it, and we'll see if it's worth writing a request for it. Sorting them.
Yes, rack logs are always
Yeah. So, well, River, we don't have any explicit tools or mechanisms for that sort of thing, but I could certainly help you clean up some of your reports. It would be, you know, fairly manual, but I'd be happy to do most of the work, I think. But it would require a lot of judgment calls on your end. But we can do that if you want to look through them. Feel free to reach out if that's the case. You're welcome. Back to you, Tyler.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think overall that was a good session. If there's any other questions, feel free to reach out through a ticket or email, whichever you prefer. Yeah. Oh, as of the end of Thursday, I will be out until the end of July. So Mike will be filling in my spot for office hours and anybody else doing Q&A and stuff. All right. So we'll go ahead and post a poll, and then everybody have a great rest of the week. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.